Good morning. I'm about to take another trip in my car. This will be a little road trip from Atlanta to Denver. And I'm a little concerned about this trip. I usually don't have any problems driving my car long distance, but I just put new front suspension on, new brakes, new tires, everything. But it seems to be a little rough on the steering when I'm going slow and turning to the right. So I'm going to try to get back into my mechanic this morning real quick because we're leaving about 1 o'clock, and I really hope that there's not a major problem I got to deal with, and I can get on the road and not be a problem today. The car does have 198,000 miles on it, and I think I'll be okay, but I just don't want to run any risk. I want to see if I can get in there real quick and maybe get something tightened up or whatever the problem is resolved quickly. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and get on the road and hope that there's not a problem. If I can't get it into the mechanic, I'll just have to drive it and go as is. The other option would be to drive my wife's 2015 Honda Accord hybrid. The only problem is there's no trunk space really much in that car because of the batteries in the back, and this car here has plenty of trunk space. Gas mileage should be about the same, maybe a little better with the Accord, but if it's just my wife and I'd say yeah, let's do the Accord, but my son and his girlfriend are going to go with us as well. So it'll be a pretty full car, a bunch of luggage, and it's a bit of a mess right now. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go ahead probably and do it anyway. Worst case, I know there's a shop I can get alignment done or anything fixed when we get to Denver, or alignment somewhere along the line and get it fixed in Denver when we get there, because we'll be there for about 5 days, so I'll have time to get work done there. Well, I'm going to get loaded up, and I'll report back before we head out, and we'll see if I'm going to actually hit the road with it or not. Back in a few. Okay, I just talked to my mechanic. He said that he had told the person to check me out, let me know that my power steering pump is starting to have some issues. It freezes up every now and then, so that's probably the issue I'm seeing, and that's what he saw when I took it in last time. So he said that I'm good to go and I can do my trip, and when I get back they'll take care of that. But I may actually see if I can pick up one while I'm on my trip, because I'll be in Denver. My wife will be at a conference, so I won't be seeing her during the day, and I'll be working remotely. So I may just try to squeeze in swapping out a power steering pump on this trip, which will make it for an interesting trip. But hopefully he is correct. That there shouldn't be any problems to worry about for the trip. It's about 1,500 miles each way. So worst case, steering might be a little stiff and at slower speeds, but as long as I'm moving, I should be okay. I hope. Now, she's ready. She's washed, new tires. Everything's ready to go. You know, this is a 17-year-old car. I plan to keep it probably until the wheels fall off. Hopefully it's not on this trip, but after putting about $3,500 in it with the whole front suspension redone and alignment, brakes and tires and a few other things, it should be good to go. It is an older car, but I'd rather have an older car and put a few $1,000s in it every few 5-6 years, keep it running, than to have a big fat payment. So here we go. It's going to be time to start loading up. I'm getting all my gear ready. I'm all packed. My wife's packed. My son's girlfriend, I'm not too sure about. They're still asleep, and we're leaving in about 3.5, 4 hours. So this is going to be an interesting trip. I'll be posting video along the way, hopefully, just to show my progress, and if there's anything worsens with the steering, and if I've gone crazy yet with 4 people in the car. I don't have much hair to lose, so if I start pulling it out, it's going to be a short trip, then I'll be bald. So let's get on the road, get everything ready, and be ready to head out of here in a couple hours. And here we come, Denver. Well, we drove until about 1 in the morning. We got to Oklahoma, so from Atlanta to Oklahoma. Our first tank of gas got us from Atlanta to probably 30 or 40 miles past Little Rock. So we started off today. We filled up probably an hour and a half before we stopped last night, and we're down about a quarter of a tank so far today, as you can see. And 829 miles on it. Tank and a quarter so far. But we're grabbing some breakfast at a gas station, and we're heading on over to our next stop. We cross through Texas and into New Mexico today. Another long day of driving, and then we're going to have another long day after that. So I could use a nice little break. Today would start off kind of rough for me, but I won't go into that. Anyway, I'll update them as we cross into the next states. Well, I made it to Hereford, Texas on the second tank from Atlanta, so that's not too bad. Time to fill up and move on further. So far, so good on our trip here. We made it to Roswell, New Mexico yesterday around, I think it was around 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock New Mexico time. It's a little early in the morning right now, so I'm a little bit tired. The only issues we're having so far with the car, unfortunately, the roads weren't that great, so the alignment's a little off right now. Still a little tough on the turning, but it's something I can live with right now. I'll take a look at that in Denver, maybe, when I get back. But the alignment, I think I'm going to have to probably get it checked this morning, just to make sure that it's not too far out of whack and end up chewing my tires up. But we're doing pretty well. We're getting about 33 miles a gallon. That's for 4 people. Trunk completely packed, and driving about 80 most of the time. So that's not too bad, I guess, for a big old four-door. It's a tank, basically. Okay, so I was gonna go get the car alignment checked, and actually it didn't feel too bad this morning, so I'm guessing it was probably something with the roads yesterday or just the temperature of the tires. Because it was pretty hot, and tires can act a little weird sometimes if it's real hot. My thermometer on the car was showing 110 as we're going across some of the desert areas, so that could be playing a little bit into it. It could just be the road, so I think I'm going to hold off until we get to Denver to do anything maintenance-wise if need be. But we look pretty good this morning. It's early. I'm half awake. Let's see how today goes. But only good news, a good side of it. We will probably be hitting the 200,000 mark on the car either today or will probably be tomorrow when we're heading up towards Denver. We had a short drive, only about 4 hours, from Roswell to Colorado City, and we figured to stop a little short. Our Airbnb in Denver is not going to be until later today, so we figured we'd stop somewhere and just get a nice cheap place. I did fill up the car before we left Roswell, because out here there's not a lot of gas. New Mexico, there's not a lot of gas stations for 30, 40 miles. I didn't want to run risk, and I had half a tank left, so I was good. But I thought I'd be safe and go ahead and fill up. So I have filled up one more time. Still getting right at 32, so not the best I've ever gotten, but it's working. The place where we're stopped in Colorado City is not a whole lot out here, as you can see. The only thing here is there's a barbecue bar and grill over there and a weed dispensary. So I guess you can get your munchies and go next door. It's their motto, I guess, or their target audience. We ate there last night at the barbecue place. It wasn't bad. It's pretty good, actually. But we're going to be driving up to Colorado Springs today, and then into Denver, and checking into our Airbnb for a few days. And that's about all I've got so far. We might do a day trip or something out to Pikes Peak or something like that. But I'm meeting some friends at night, so we'll just have to see what happens here. Then on Friday we'll start our trip back towards Atlanta. We were just passing through Colorado Springs, and we pulled off the highway and got rear ended. Luckily, it's not that bad. It's just a bumper cover, looks like. But it could have been worse, I guess. So I'm not going to stress over too much. I'll worry about getting it fixed when I get home. Not a big deal. But hey, I hit 200,000 miles. So that's that part of it. Yeah, I noticed after the accident yesterday, I ended up being able to push that back in here as much as possible so it's not flapping. And I noticed right here that the corner here is broken and there's a little bit of a hole there. But you can see that where it's kind of been in there. I think we'll be okay. I'll be heading back to Atlanta in a few days. Once I get back there, I'll take care of all the insurance problems and headaches and all that crap that comes along with being in an accident. But we look good. Alignment's good, so we should be good for the rest of the trip, I hope. No more issues, I hope, on this trip. So we're about to leave Denver. We're heading down I-70, cutting across Kansas over towards St. Louis. Haven't had any issues. Things have been going pretty well. I'm still getting about 32 miles a gallon, but we've got a pretty good load of luggage in the back. I'll attach a picture in this video of what we got in the back. It's pretty full. And that's about it. The weather doesn't look so good today. And we're probably about 20 miles, 30 miles outside of Denver, but the weather looks pretty crappy today. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to try to get to St. Louis tonight, and then we'll have a straight shot into Atlanta about 8 or 9 hours tomorrow, hopefully. So we can get back in 2 days instead of doing a 2-night stay somewhere. Anyway, I'll keep you updated as we go. Well, on our trip from Denver to Atlanta, we only made it about halfway to Columbia, Missouri, which ended up being fine. We got a nice hotel here, and we're able to spend the night, get a good night's sleep. We considered driving all the way through to Atlanta, which would have been a 20-hour drive. I'm just too old for that crap, so we just decided to stop here in the middle and then head on into Atlanta today and be in hopefully by 7 o'clock or something tonight. So that'll make a nice 2-day drive and shouldn't be too bad. So far we're still doing okay with the car. Had a little bit worse gas mileage on the last tank, only about 30, but we were doing a little over speed limit, let me just put it that way. And we're still pretty loaded down. A slight pull to the left because there was a what looked like a pallet in the middle of the road that had broken down that I couldn't avoid, and I hit it. So hopefully it's not a leaky tire or anything that's causing the issue. So hopefully we make it back to Atlanta today and without issues. I'll follow up a little bit further down as we cross another state line. Finally got my car back. Sadly, it's September now. When I did my trip to Denver, it was in May. I was in and out of the shop a couple times to try to figure out what the steering issue was. I changed the power steering pump, didn't fix it. Took it back to my normal mechanic that's a little further away. He looked at it, he thought it was power steering and the pump, so he swapped it out and he agreed that it's not that. They decided it was probably the rack that was messed up, and I'd gotten a quote for that at the other mechanic that looked at it, and it was just crazy what they wanted for almost $3,000. So I took it to my normal mechanic, and he had it for about 3 weeks, changing power steering pump, there's a switch on top of the rack, all kinds of things, trying to figure out what the problem was. Ended up being the rack, and he replaced it for less than half of what the other place wanted, with warranty and everything. So I finally got it back. Last five and a half months have been difficult driving it, or not even having it at my house. Probably it's been in the shop 5 weeks for people trying to figure out what it was. But I got it back, and it drives like brand new now. So I'm actually quite happy to have my car back. So now just have to see if it holds up as far as the steering issues. It's not something that just it's a temporary fix. Hopefully it's a lot longer, but I'll keep you updated if anything else changes down the road.